What's going on, public subscribers? Michael McFarland here, the Lake Fork Guide. I'm going to give you a weekly rundown as we always do. It's April 1st. I'm not going to play any April Fool's tricks on you. In fact, as usual, I'm going to give you the typical public rundown. And in this one, I'm even going to give you up one of the baits that I'll be catching fish on. Maybe some of the areas even a little bit too, so stick around. Let's go to the board. All right. I know we talked last Wednesday. So from Wednesday to today, we will talk about the board. Temperatures really on the rise. The best thing going, even though we had a cold front come through and we had some rain and the lake came up a little bit. I forgot to put that one in there for you. Let's do that right now. I forgot to put Thursdays in there. And I'll go to my records. And yesterday's lake level was 39667. Lake falling a bit. All right, so there, a little live action for you. Yesterday 39667, today 39664. But the water temperature rising. And that's really not any substantial drop. Water clarity's typically holding about the same, 0 to 1 foot. I saw it settling already from Tuesday or Wednesday night's transition in the rain. There was some sediment and stuff in backwaters that dirtied them up. Even in the main lake, I noticed a little bit of dirty tinge when I fished yesterday. The main lake down south got that gunmetal blue look to it. And yesterday, it wasn't as clear as always. With the gunmetal, coinciding with the gunmetal blue look. So remember, Mark Pack used to say gunmetal blue, Lake Fork green. Those are the two best colors on the lake. Gunmetal blue is when it's a little more clear. Lake Fork green is when it's a little more in the summertime, has a little more of that algae and things in it. But lake looks good and settling. 58, 62 degrees is what I found today. We'll talk about that and what that's doing to the fish here in just a minute. But some good news, some of the best news I could share with you. I spoke to SRA yesterday, and they are finished with the above water repairs. Okay, so as of today, if not today, by the 1st of next week, you will see a press release from SRA that they are going to lift the 397 elevation cap, which basically is capping the lake at 397, 6 feet below full pool. They're lifting the cap. They're finished. We haven't lost any water yet. They haven't had to dump any water yet. So there are absolutely no effects other than the original dumping of that 3.5 feet of water that they dumped out. So let's hope now that April is good, good rains, good storms, and all that water that we get to contain. So once again, the SRA report is you will see a press release no later than the 1st of next week that they will be lifting the cap elevation of 397 and allowing the lake to rise back to full pool. All right, it's up to Mother Nature now. Best news we could have. Perfect timing for the spawn. Rising water rises the fish. We need that water to rise as these fish spawn. It gives these babies and all the fry somewhere to hide. Okay. All right, the cold front effects. And the weather. The next few days look really good. If you're coming out tomorrow, 50 to 75 degrees, looks stable. North winds a little bit, but they're mild. So good temperatures, coinciding with good water temperatures. The fish are trying to spawn. And really the best bite is in the backwaters. If you want to catch numbers, if you want to catch fish up to 5-6 pounds, there's lots of males in the backwaters. I mean, lots of males. I do, in the members only section, we do what we call the rule of 3. And I know this is going to look gibberish to you guys, but we just did a lesson on how to break the lake down in the section 3, section 2, section 1, and so on with the coves and creeks. The rule of 3 is really, really working really well to put guys in the right areas where to catch fish. What I can tell you right now is that, man, a lot of the fish, they're just everywhere. The backwaters are loaded up with fish, males specifically, getting ready to spawn. The cold effects the last couple of days, been a cold front coming through, didn't change anything. They're loaded up in there and more coming. So really expect that, to be looking for The shallow bite, soft plastics, things like Cincos, trick worms, even just running a chatterbait or a spinnerbait in the backwaters can catch you some fish. I will tell you a few things that are very important. Number one, that some of the fish are because we don't have cover, we don't have junk, we don't have brush in the water, we don't have lily pads, we don't have grass, they're on the wood. You have to be throwing your bait by stumps. The better the stumps, the bigger stumps, the more dominant they are, the more multiple stumps and things that the fish have to hide on, the better. I'm going to give up a bait. I'm not going to tell you the colors. If you want to know the colors, you should be a member. If you want to know real super detail on exactly what McFarland Fishing is doing, then you should be a member. What does it mean to be a member? Private subscription. $4.99 a month to subscribe to my private members only channel. As soon as I finish this public report, I'm going to go do another report for those members only, and I spill my guts. I tell you exactly where, exactly how, by rule of three, what I'm using, the colors, the pace, detail for detail. It really helps a lot. But let's share a little bit with you, because I definitely appreciate you as regular subscription subscribers to the public channel. All right, first thing is, the chopstick's really been working good for me. So I'm going to tell you about taking off my rod socks. Okay, this is one of the best rod protecting deals that you can get. Lake Fork Tackle Lures sell these rod socks, the original rod socks with the improvements, color coded for your sizes. Has this nice hardened butt end right here to protect from the hooks. Rod socks. We're taking that off. All right. Then we're going to break out a McFarland signature real-time rods. You can do this with two of them. The MB 7'3", 1020, or the MB 7'3", 1225. The 1020 is a 4-power, and the 1225 is a 5-power, a little bit bigger rod. Depending on what kind of fish you're on and how you feel about it, you may want to get the smaller rod for other lakes and things. They both hold their own on Lake Fork, and regardless of which rod you're using, I use 20-pound test fluorocarbon. Okay. Second, I'm going to put on a high-speed gear ratio reel. When I'm pitching these to the stumps, I need to be able to get them out of there, get them up, get them home before they wrap up, and all the rest of the stumps that are in those areas. It's thick with wood, okay? So I'm going to use a high-speed 7-to-1. In this case, I'm using the Daiwa Tatula 150. I love these reels. This is the HS, by the way, which means high speed. So the Tatula 150 HS, really my friend Brent Ayler from the West Coast, he's the one that really turned me on to this a couple years ago, maybe 3 years back. I saw him using these. I saw him really brag them up. I was using Shimano. I made the change. So thanks to Brent Ayler, my good friend, who does follow the members only channel, I'm using Daiwa, and I absolutely recommend that you take a look at it. So again, the real-time rods, MB, McFarland signature, 7'3", 1020, 20-pound fluorocarbon. Either a 1/4 ounce lead, or you can go a little lighter with tungsten, 3/16. But I'm going to go 1/4 ounce lead, 3/16 tungsten. I'm going to put a bobber stopper, the weight. I'm going to use a San Diego jam knot or a double clinch knot, a number 4 odd hook, and a V&M chopstick, and or a Cinco. Okay, man, I'm telling you, today we audibled. We changed from the main lake patterns of throwing the bigger baits, the swim baits, the glide baits, things like that. The bite was not on for that due to the cold front that we hit. We went into the backwaters and we fished shallow backwaters, spawning grounds, spawning flats, and in 1 hour, we had 12 bites, landed 8 of them in the boat. Really made the day, saved the day. None of them were giant fish, but 3 to 5 pound fish are really common on Fork. And we didn't even break the 4-pound range. But we had a lot of good activity in 1 hour, which told me these fish are ready to spawn. We know that, all right? Lesson for you, the moon. So, if you follow me on Facebook, you saw last week was a beatdown. I wasn't the only one. Greg West caught him. David Morris caught him. Many of the guides. James Caldemeyer caught him. Philip Montana caught him. Those fish that came and fed on those reefs and those points and ate the big gizzard shad last week were preparing themselves to move in and spawn. Okay, they're gorging before they stage. Now, I'm not sure if all those fish that we're catching last week have all gone to stage, but the bite went downhill this week because we're rolling into the new moon. Today is the new moon. Fish spawn, more of the fish spawn, not all of them, but a high percentage of the fish will spawn on the new moon and the full moon. So what I call, and I'm teaching you a really cool thing here, it's a 7-day cycle. We have 7 days falling and 7 days coming, okay? We were rising last week. As of Saturday last week, we were into the 7 days before the new moon. Those fish gorged. When it got to be 5 days before the new moon, some of those fish moved in to go spawn. Okay, and that's why, and I've witnessed this year after year, anywhere I've fished, but specifically on Lake Fork, they move that fast. And so you see the offshore bite and the main lake point bite and the shellwood bite and the reef bite be on fire, and then the next week it's not. Why? Because those fish moved in. My suspect is that next week, next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which will be 1 week away from the full moon, okay, new moon's tonight. Next Saturday is 7 days in, falling. That 7 days coming, those fish start moving in. So next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, be looking for that big fish bite. And if you follow me again on Facebook, most likely you're going to see the guys, you're going to see us, might even see Brooke back out there beating the brakes off them, the big ones, when they come back up to do what they did last week. All right, with that being said, I'm going to close this lesson here. I struggled the last 2 days. Cold front affected it a little bit. Today, my guys wanted the big fish. Everybody saw Brooke beat those big fish down. And you can find it again on Facebook, The Lake Fork Adventures Guide Service, Instagram, The Lake Fork Guide. You can go see what happened. See that 37-pound sack that's put together. And the clients all week caught big fish starting on Monday. It just got better and better. But here's the thing. The guys today, about noon, they wanted to just catch fish. And my wheels turned, and I applied the lesson that I just gave you. We audibled offshore. We went to the spawning grounds, the spawning flats. And not to be redundant, but in 1 hour, had 12 bites and landed 8 quality Lake Fork specials. It was an awesome day. I really appreciated it. Appreciate the guys being with me and swinging for the fences all morning and then taking the afternoon to just go ahead and catch some fish. You know, most people come to Lake Fork for a fish of a lifetime. Brooke sat on a point this morning for almost 5 hours. The same location, same spot, hoping for one giant bite. Ask yourself, what do I come here for? The big fish? Then be batter number 4. Hero or zero. If you want to catch them right now, the backwaters is where you need to be. If you want to know exactly more about it, subscribe to my members only channel and I'll tell you more about it. I promise you it's worth the $4.99. All right. Again, thank you so much. Thank you all of you for subscribing to the regular channel. It's growing in huge numbers as well. Tell your friends about it. If you're enjoying this and you appreciate this, give me the thumbs up. That really means a lot to me. If you have any questions, if you would like me to give more lessons, if you have an idea, something for you'd like me to talk about, send that message to us. We'll do the best we can to answer your questions and maybe do one of those lessons on the show. So thank you again. I'm Mike McFarland, giving up some goods. The Lake Fork Guide, wishing you the best fishing.